So, thinking about Northern Ireland, and everybody that remembers Northern Ireland in the late 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and even up till the turn of the 21st century, there was trouble. There was trouble in this country. There was terrorism, there was murder, there was all sorts of evil perpetrated, some in the name of religion, some in the name of politics, some in the name of both. And we moved away from those days and those times. And yeah, we have a peace. It's not a perfect peace. There's still conflict. There's still people hate each other. There's still people would fight each other if they had the capability. But the reality is, thankfully, those days are gone. And I was involved in the conflict in the British Army. I've got friends that are in the police. I've got friends that are in different, what you call terrorist or paramilitary groups. And they've all moved on. Everyone's moved on. Most of us that were involved in the conflicts are in our 50s, 60s and even 70s. But what happened the other day on the Ormeau Road in Belfast, again, there's not a lot of people talking about it, and there's not a lot of information going out about that. But it looks like it was the first actual jihadist attack in Northern Ireland. That's what it appears happened. And obviously we'll find out more information on it as time goes on. But if that's the case, that is a very, very disturbing thing to happen in a country that suffered so much violence at the hands of terrorism, so many innocent people killed. And now we're going to import terrorism, religiously inspired terrorism, politically and religiously inspired terrorism, which is what euphemistically Islamism is called. I call it fundamentalist Islam. And that's what inspires these people. They may not be the smartest people, not the sharpest tools in the box, as we would say, but they are certainly willing to die and kill for their cause. And that shouldn't be happening in our country. We shouldn't be bringing people into this country who are willing to stab, who are willing to murder, and who are willing to carry out all sorts of atrocities because people don't share their religious conviction or their religious faith. We've moved away from all that, and we moved to a peace process. And I think people need to think very seriously about this first shot or this first stab, this first slash or whatever it was in what has proved to be a very, very long war. I mean, we're not talking a few years, we're not talking a few decades, we're talking 1400 years of jihad. And we've invited it in. We've brought it into our country. And all those politicians, Sinn Féin, the Alliance Party, some of the unionist parties, you need to have a look and ask yourselves, what sort of country do you want? Do you want a country of peace and harmony and cohesion? Or do you want a country that's turning into a basket case, like what's happening in France, like what's happening in Germany, and like, sadly, what's happening in England? I don't want that for Northern Ireland. It's a beautiful country with beautiful people, and we don't want to import the world's problems and all the troubles that come with those problems. Thankfully, parties like the TUV, independent unionists, I don't know where the DUP stand on all this sort of stuff, but the reality is there are some good parties out there in Northern Ireland, there's some good politicians in Northern Ireland that will stand against these things. But I don't want jihad on the streets of Belfast. I don't want Islamists cutting children's throats, stabbing babies, because that's what these people do. Look at what's just happened in Congo, 70 Christians killed. Look what's just happened in Syria, Christians, Alawites, Druze targeted and killed by Sunni jihadists. And I remember an old mural on a wall in Belfast, and I think it was something about Daniel O'Donnell, you know, Ulster suffered enough, you know, ban Daniel O'Donnell or something like that, and it was just about his singing, obviously. But, you know, Northern Ireland has suffered enough. We don't need jihad. We don't need Islamist terrorists. Shut the door, keep them out, and keep us safe. See you all soon.